Okay guys, so let's get started. This is the first video other than the welcome video, and this video we're going to talk about debunking some of the consultant misconceptions. So some things that you often hear about becoming a LuLaRoe consultant, or what maybe you're thinking in your head this is going to entail. So after you've watched this video, comment below. Let me know what are some things that you're thinking that I didn't address maybe, or that I did address. Did any of these that I addressed popped into your head when you were approached by me or approached by another consultant? And what were your thoughts about it? So the first one, which I think is usually number one, and it definitely was number one for me, was if I do this, I'm gonna have to push sales on my friends and family. And that's totally not the case. If that was the case, I wouldn't have done this. And so, the way I run my team, the way I train my team is not about pushing products on people. And I hope that you see that from, if you're in my shopping group, if you're on my Instagram, if you're on my Facebook, I hope you see that. Excuse me. We all have someone, and I think this is where it stems from, like that fear of being that person that pushes it on their friends and family. We all have someone on our social media or in our friend group that does this, that pushes the products on their friends, on their family, and it ultimately starts pushing them away, because you really, like, that person walks into the school, they walk into an event, and you're like, oh my gosh, stay away. I don't want to deal with that conversation and have to circle around that and avoid that, and I don't want to be pushed. Like, frankly, I'm at my husband's work event. I don't want a product pushed on me. Plain and simple. Like, and so then we start to avoid things like that. That is not what LuLaRoe is about. And I train my team that that's not what LuLaRoe is about. We're driving our personal sales by sharing the product, by showing what we believe in. Like, this is my outfit today. I have a Lindsay and I have a classic tee on. I shoot to wear 2 pieces of LuLaRoe every day. It's not hard because it's something I believe in, and it's clothing that I love. And that's it. And it's as simple as wearing the clothes and sharing it. So today I wore this and I shared it on my shopping group, and I'll share it tonight on Instagram once people are online. It's simple things like that. It doesn't have to be you sending people messages saying, hey, how come you haven't came and shopped with me? Now, there is something that we talk about. That's a 72-hour game plan where you are reaching out. You're reaching out to your close friends and family, and it's as simple as, hey, you've bought from me, or hey, I think you'd like these clothes because you're into fashion. Let me know if you want to throw a party. Plain and simple. It's not sending them messages, showing up at my husband's work event and saying like, hey, how come you haven't bought this from me? I would love if you bought this from me. That's not what it's about. We're simply sharing what we love at the end of the day. The other thing that I know a lot of people say is like, well, I would need to know a lot of people to make this work. Not true. Not true at all. Sorry, I'm scrolling through my notes here to make sure I don't miss anything. So we all start from ground zero. My husband's been military for 7 years now. So I know people in a lot of places, but I don't have close connections. Like, I would say I have a good group of like close friends, but it's not huge. I like to make few close friends and then we move. So it's not like I'm still in the place where I grew up. I've been there for 30 years, 20 years, and I know everyone. That's not the case, and it doesn't need to be the case. Honestly, I have, I think, 1,200 in my shopping group right now that I've let grow organically. I haven't done legging loops. It's not people that like, oh, I had 1,500 friends on Facebook and I just dumped them all into my shopping group. No, I just, let people find out about my shopping group and grew it organically. So it's not something that you need to know all these people or you're not going to be successful. That's totally not the case. You're going to learn from your upline. So whoever you join under, that's who you're going to learn how to build your like-minded network. So that includes if you want consultants to sign up under you, if you want to grow your shopping group, both of those, it's going to include that when you join your upline, and they're going to teach you how to grow it and how to grow it in your like-minded group. And like you've heard, your vibe attracts your tribe, and I completely believe in that. So you're not going to find me being negative because that's not something I want in my life. I don't want negative people. I don't want negativity around me 24/7. So I fully believe in that. Are there times where you're like, dang, this stinks? Yeah, but you know what? There's always something to be happy about and positive about in that situation. Um, and those situations, I truly believe, will help even grow your network, not only like your team, but it'll help grow your network because people on your Facebook page, they don't like in your group, they don't want negativity most likely. Like they come for an outlet, for a fun outlet, and so that's probably what they want to see. Um, Something, I'm saying, oh, I grew this organically. I grew my group organically. I didn't do legging loops. I didn't do, um, there's like Instagram loops and things like that. I didn't do any of that. I truly believe like each person is going to bond with someone differently. So what people that are bonding with me on my shopping group are going to bond with you separately, and they're going to see something on your shopping group, on your Instagram, on your personal Facebook that they like, and it's going to intrigue them to be like, let me look into this further. Let me see what this clothing is about, just off of something that you said. It could be something related to your kids that triggers them to go look at it. It's not always just like you posted a picture of a classic tee and now they're like, oh, I want to go see what this is. Sometimes it is. But it could be, a picture of your kids on Instagram that with a hashtag intrigues someone, and then they slowly start following you on Instagram, and then before you know it, they're in your shopping group. And that happens. I have two girlfriends right now that I was huge into weight loss right before I got pregnant with my son Ethan. I was struggling to get pregnant, big into weight loss, lost a lot of weight, and so I found a lot of girls on Instagram that we just motivated each other. And now I switched Instagrams because that was a fitness Instagram. I now have a LuLaRoe Instagram. They followed me from my fitness one to my LuLaRoe, and now they're both in my shopping group. And they buy from me regularly. So I think that's fun. That's crazy. That shows that each person is going to be different, and how they bond with you is going to be different. A few things when you join with me, because we are talking about like, oh, I have to know all these people, right? In order to be successful. If you join with me, you're going to get startup training. Not only from me, you're going to get this massive group that there's so many resources in as well. With me personally, you're going to get training. I'm also working on a social media boot camp training. So if you're not big in social media, that's okay. And I'll talk about that. I will help you through that. And I have training for that can draw your followers into your group. And it's not just like, oh, I'm going to help train you to get you started and then you're on your own. No, this is ongoing. This is for the life that you are with LuLaRoe. We are working together and we're going to make you successful, and whatever that is. Maybe for you, that's just doing sales to get a couple thousand extra a month. Or maybe for you, that's like, I want to be a mentor. I want to have a whole team of girls. Whatever that is, like, I'm going to be here to help you grow that team. And like I said, so I'm working on a social media boot camp for my girls. I'm going to focus on training you on that. What do hashtags look like for you? What hashtags should you be using on Instagram or Twitter? How should you be posting in your group so that it drops into people's news feeds? Because on Facebook, it's all algorithms. So you could be posting and posting and posting in your group, but people might not see it on their news feed unless they physically go into your group. And they might not be getting the notifications unless they have it turned on. Or they're your friend. So if it's just someone that found your Facebook group, they might not have any clue that you have a sale going on. So how are we going to trigger that so that it drops into their news feed? So I'll talk about that in my trainings. And the last, 2 parts is like, okay, we're talking about, well, this is all last 2 parts. Let me retract. Last 2 parts of, we're debunking not knowing enough people, right? So the last 2 parts of that are, how much effort are you willing to put in? If you're willing to make those true, genuine connections of the few people that you do know, making those connections, getting them to book parties because they want to, because they see the clothing, because they see you talking about it, like just how much you love this shirt. I love this Lindsay. Everyone else is freezing, at this event we're at. Oh, not me, because I'm like wrapped up in my Lindsay all snuggled in. That kind of stuff. And then they see it and they book a party. You're going to be successful. Whether you know 5 people or 5,000, you will be successful. If you put the efforts into spamming your friends and just like mass emailing, Facebook messaging, hey, join my group. Hey, how come you haven't bought this, Cassie? That's when you're going to start deterring people, and they're going to be like seeing you walk in and being like, oh, avoid her. All of a sudden I have to go to the bathroom and I'm going to duck out really quick and early instead because I don't want to have that conversation. That's where you're going to run into the trouble of not being successful. And it's not going to be because you didn't know people or you didn't know a lot of people. It's simply going to be because you're spamming people and they don't want that interaction, because that's not what people want, and that's not what LuLaRoe is about. So we have 3 more to go through. So number 3, the next thing we're going to debunk is I would need a lot of extra time. And I can't be working full time. I can't be a mom. There's so many women that have started this business while working full time, demanding jobs, and being a mom. And so I have a girlfriend right now that just signed up with me. She is going to school to be a nurse practitioner. She has a little boy. Her husband's deployed, so it's her. It's her doing school, like crazy school, and taking care of her son. And on top of that, she's like, I'm going to start selling because I want to pay off these loans, which is amazing. That's amazing. So no, it's whatever you have time for. And that's what's amazing. If you strictly, there's a girl I follow on Facebook who she's in college too, and she strictly does live sales. That's what works for her. She's in college. She doesn't have time to do photo albums and take pictures of everything. She pops on once or twice a week, does some live sales, sells those clothes, and then comes back a couple days later and does it again. That's just what works for her, and that's great. That's what's amazing. It's whatever you want it to be. When I started out, Ethan is now 8 months. When I started out, I think he was 4 months when I launched. And so I could do more live sales because it worked, because he slept a lot and he slept easy. Right now, it's honestly like, okay, I guess I'll do a live at 9 o'clock at night. I know that's 11 o'clock Eastern, and I'm sorry for my Eastern girls, but that's what works for my schedule. And that's why I'm doing this at the end of the day, is because it works for my schedule. I didn't go back to working. I used to work corporate world, retail, working till 1 o'clock in the morning, and that was on their schedule. I got scheduled for whatever worked for them. I'm doing this so I can stay at home and make money, so I do whatever works for me. And some weeks, I'm going to be way more involved. Some weeks I'm going to post outfits of the day, maybe 5 outfits of the day every single day. And other weeks, you're going to be able to tell I'm a mom. Ethan's maybe going through a sleep regression like he is right now and not sleeping, and I just don't have time for that. I have time for the parties I've booked because I set time aside, and I have time for my weekly album sale, but maybe that's it for that week. So it's all what you have time for. You completely control your schedule. So don't think, oh, because I have 3 kids and they're in this and I'm on PTA, I can't make it work. It's whatever you want. Honestly, if you want to not do any online and you just want to maybe book parties in home and meet ladies and do it like that, that's totally okay. Maybe you just want to do it once a month. That's totally okay too. Or maybe you want to be with someone that has time every day and can not only sell on Facebook Live, but maybe you're going to get on Periscope every day. That's amazing. That's a whole untapped market. That's wonderful. So it truly is whatever you guys want. And that's what I love about this. It's all what we want it to be. And that's what's amazing, is you run it so differently, right? So whatever I run is going to be different than what you guys run and what you choose to do. And that's also how you're going to grow your network, because someone's going to find what you're doing and they're going to be like, you know what? I'm home every day at 4 o'clock. I love that she's on Periscope every day at 4. And they're going to jump on. And maybe that's how you grow some followers. So it's honestly, like I'm saying, it's truly on how you do things, which is so fun. So now we're going to go to debunking misconception number 4. This drives me crazy. When people say like, oh, well, this must be one of those pyramid things that you hear about all the times, like a pyramid scheme, right? It makes me want to go crazy. It's so not true. And anyone who says this is true to you is simply lacking knowledge in how this works. I'm not going to say like, when I heard about this, I didn't think about it too, or I wasn't worried about that. My upline, so Tiffany Cook, she co-sponsored me, and she's a mentor in the company. I like read through her emails, like reading between the lines. I mean, I was looking for anything, right, to make sure like they're not scheming me in this. Like, let me read it front to back, like side to side. I'm gonna read it all. I'm not gonna miss anything. I was searching and searching and searching to make sure that I wasn't going to get scammed in any of this. And that's not the case. This company is not about that. Mark and Deanne, the owners of the company, are not about that. If you think about it, I came from corporate world America, right? Any company is set up like that. They are set up in a pyramid. And the amazing thing about this company is tell me in any other world where a consultant, just a plain consultant, not a mentor, not a girl who has people under her, could make more than a high person in LuLaRoe, like a mentor who has a ton of girls under her. That can happen in this company because maybe the girl who doesn't have anyone below her is just rocking it in sales and she's just selling the clothes and that's all she wants to do. And she can actually sometimes make more than a mentor. I'm not saying, oh, this happens all the time or it's guaranteed. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying whatever you choose to do is possible. And in corporate world America, you're never going to find an hourly employee, right? Or like the bottom of the pyramid. You're never going to find an hourly employee that's going to make more than a director or a CEO or the CFO, right? That's just not going to happen. That's not how it works. That's potential. Like that can happen in this company, which is amazing. So when someone says like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, I'm like, well, where are you working? Like, are you working in corporate America? 'Cause that's a pyramid, right? And so when you kind of say that or finally acknowledge that and kind of get it out of the way, it kind of gets the wheels turning. And I had to do the same thing. I had to really think about it and make sure I was fully understanding this first. And that's as simple as it is. It's not a pyramid. It's not anything like that. It's just girls selling clothes and other girls mentoring each other to grow their sales, right? So if I were to bring someone on, I'm going to mentor her because I want her to grow her sales. I want her to be successful. I'm not going to bring someone on just to bring them on. Like that doesn't do anything for them. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm going to bring them on and show them the ropes. I'm going to show them how I've been successful with social media training. I'm going to show them things that I've heard that I haven't had time to try, but I've watched webinars on that are supposed to help them be successful. I am going to give them all of my knowledge because at the end of the day, if they're successful, I'm successful, and vice versa. If they're with me and I'm successful, then I can help them be successful, right? And that's what I love about this company. It really is just a sisterhood, which I say all the time. Like, I have never felt like such closeness with girls and like team members that, like my team I've never met. I love the girls on my team. I love them. Like my upline girls and my peers that are all under the same upline. I love those girls. They're amazing. They're so much fun. And it's so nice to be able to go to a group and just comment, hey, I'm wondering if anyone has information on this, or does anyone have this piece of clothing? I need it for a customer, and they'll be like, sure, if you want to give me her email, I'll invoice her and ship it out for you. Like, that's just amazing. I love it so much. The last thing we're going to talk about is the market's too saturated. Like, I can't sign up now because there's too many consultants and it's not going to work. That's not the case. And Mark and Deanne, the owners of the company, have even addressed this on like our weekly calls, on our webinars. Like, they're nowhere near market saturation whatsoever, which is amazing. If you think about it, I have girls, like my friends who I post on my Facebook page. I'll post occasionally about LuLaRoe on my Facebook page. Like, for example, today I posted a picture of me wearing this and made it my profile because I believe something with the social media boot camp, but I believe when people come to your profile, they need to be able to see that you sell LuLaRoe. It doesn't need to be like on your cover photo, buy from me, I sell LuLaRoe. No, they just need to see like, oh, she must sell that clothing if they know what it is. Now there's other girls, they don't know about it, right? And I've been selling it for 4 months now, and it's some of my close friends, and they'll be like, hey, so those leggings, right? You sell leggings, right? That's part of LuLaRoe? I have no idea. I haven't bought anything. I have no idea. And so then you have to walk them through how it works. For some of us that have been like so in this world, it's like, what do you mean you don't know what LuLaRoe is? And what do you mean you've never seen a live sale or an album sale and you don't understand how this works? It's like, let me open you to this amazing world, right? But there's so many that have no idea about it. So like market saturation honestly would be like the furthest thing from my mind. And it should be from yours too. We are nowhere near it. My sales are great. And you're never going to hit it anyway. I truly don't believe, because they control it. They control it in the fact that now, with all the consultants, they've bumped it up, but it's only 5,000. So they only make 5,000 of the print spread amongst the sizes. That's not going to happen. Like, someone's going to come join my group because they heard that I have navy feather leggings in tall and curvy. And they've been hunting for them from every other consultant, right? And now I finally have them. She joined my group, and now she's probably going to stay in my group. And, you know, at first she might just stay in my group because she forgets to leave. Just saying, that happens sometimes, right? And then all of a sudden she'll start interacting on my group, and then she'll start buying consistently. That's usually how things happen. So I wouldn't say, even, you know, with people that do know about LuLaRoe, it's still not saturated because they're still looking for certain prints that they can't find, and so they're joining all these consultant pages to find their unicorns, if you will. So yeah, that is the first video. That was on debunking the consultant misconceptions. So the next video will be the basics, like the basics on selling LuLaRoe and what it all is about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this webinar. Don't forget to comment below. Comment below with the misconceptions that you've heard. What are your thoughts on the ones I addressed? And did you have any of those before I addressed them? And what is your thought, you know, now after I addressed it? And is there anything I didn't touch on that you're thinking about too? Okay, guys? And I'll be in touch soon. I will respond to your comments as I see them drop. If I don't respond, maybe I have too many notifications with other things going on. So just make sure you tag me, and that'll be sure that I get to you, okay? Bye, guys. I'll talk to you soon.